Hi, I'm going to show you the PearlCaster guitar right now. This particular one is an ash back with a beautiful bird's eye neck and a quilted maple top. We try to do a lot of things different than the original designer of these guitars. This style of guitar was originally designed, of course, by Leo Fender 40 years ago. What am I saying? 50 years ago. It's a great design. There's probably 600 people on the planet building this guitar today, or variations of this guitar. And when we first offered this guitar, we looked at some of the better ones. We looked at the Tom Andersons and the John Suhrs and the Gerard Melisson, Don Grosh. We looked at some of the better ones that we were able to find out there, and we wanted to know what was that they were doing better than Fender and how they could command so much more money. Well, it wasn't too hard to see the difference in quality and the difference in workmanship. There's just a hand-built guitar versus a production guitar. There's really no comparison. This is pretty much a hand-built model, as most of our really high-quality wood models are going to be hand-built. A standard alder body one will be a much less expensive model than this. They start off around $1,200, completely U.S. made. Start off around $1,200 with the very plain solid finishes, the solid black, solid white finishes, or any solid color for that matter. This particular improvement is, those are humbucker pickups instead of the single coil pickups that most companies use in this style of guitar. However, you can split these, and then now they're single coil. So you have the option of sounding like a real fat, chunky Kramer, Jackson style guitar, or you can click it out and get that funky Fender sound, that 60s surf music, 70s funk sound, typical, and of course the Strat blues tone that's gotten so popular in the past few years. This one is a hardtail, and we also offer it with tremolos. Our tremolos are cast, and they use a different type of bridge than most of our competitors. I think all of our competitors, actually. I've looked at a lot of different bridges, and I've come to the conclusion that this is about the best thing I could find. And we've been building these guitars 15, 18 years now, and really spent a lot of time on the bridges. These bridges have little ball bearings on these on the edges, and the studs are concave, where the ball bearings are, of course, convex and fit into the concave of the studs, making this for a very smooth acting tremolo. And it comes back to the same, to zero, so you don't go out of tune as much as you would on a knife edge tremolo or one of those very inexpensive stamped steel models. About the only tremolo I've seen that's better than this is probably the Floyd Rose. The Floyd Rose has its problems in that it's very large. There's many people who are opposed to Floyd Rose simply because it reminds them of the 80s, or for whatever reason. Now, this particular model is called the Scepter, and this particular model is called the PearlCaster. And the primary difference is on the Scepter you don't have a pick guard, and on the PearlCaster you do. Those are your primary differences. Both of them have our all-access neck joint, where you can get much higher up the neck than say one of our competitors' versions. For example, you can see on this guitar, which is one of my own personal Fenders, I only own a few, but this one is the PearlCaster version, and it's made in Japan. And some of the very best Fender guitars made have been made in Japan. Now, when I make that statement, I'm not talking about Korea, and I'm not talking about Thailand, and I'm not talking about Indonesia, and I'm not talking about China. I'm talking about Japan, J-A-P-A-N, operative word, Japan. And I'm stressing that because Fuji Gengaki, who the company that manufactures a lot of the better Ibanezes, is pretty much the company that makes these. However, it's still made exactly the same as an original Fender was made in 1954, 53, 54, when they introduced this guitar. As you can see, the neck here extends further, and you don't have this large square protuberance at the neck joint. This is a great aid in your playing ability, this particular. You can get so much higher up on the neck. You have the right to pretty much pick the wood you want, the radius of neck, the size frets. Instead of offering 700 models, like some of the bigger companies do, we offer one model. And this is how we do it with most of the guitars we build. There's one primary model. And then you yourself can go down the laundry list of items that you want on it and make it customized to you. The basic model will have a basic price, and gold will always cost extra, and bird's eye maple will cost extra, and pickup upgrades will cost extra, custom woods, cosmetics. The basic guitar at the basic price is going to be just as good sounding, if not better sounding in some cases, than our even more expensive ones. So don't feel like you have to buy the most expensive one to get the best sound. That's not always the case. The more expensive ones will, of course, increase in value more than the lower cost ones. But the less expensive ones are fully playable, fully professional, completely workable guitars. I'm going to show you a few more of these in different wood styles.